guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm with Adamo to review the match that just finished moments ago at the San Siro between Milan and Sassuolo, where Milan finally picked up a win 2-1 against Sassuolo, with goals coming in from Bacca on a penalty shot and Luiz Adriano for Milan, while Berardi scored a beauty of a free kick on Donnarumma there. But Adamo, we picked up a win. We were playing with one man more for 60 minutes. However, once again, the performance was really lackluster from this Milan side. And I don't understand. I mean, I know that we're playing against a good side like Sassuolo that's in form, that's beaten the likes of Napoli, Lazio this season, also tied against Roma. But it's incredible to see this team having problems altogether for 60 minutes while playing with a man more, and once again can't get the ball back in the net. Really bad decisions overall, poor passing, and besides a few players that actually played well, considering the fact that many of us would have thought differently, I just didn't appreciate and I didn't like what we saw from Milan all around. Sure, we got the result in the end, we got the 3 points, which everyone should be happy about, but as for the performance, there's still lots to work on. What were your thoughts on today's match?
Well, yeah, I was completely 100% agree with all the points that you made. I mean, you know, at one point Milan would be dominating the match, another point they'd be on the back foot against a 10-man Sassuolo, which is quite ironic. But, you know, we got the 3 points, is all that matters. A couple performances that we'll talk about later on, of course, that kind of showed some good signs. But, you know, there are some positives to take from today's match. We did get the win, as I said, but there's also quite a number of negatives. Milan were way too predictable when they attacked. There's only a few players in the entire squad that actually can do more than one thing. You know, you look at Montolivo, all he can do is pass, and that's only sometimes. De Jong is more of an aggressive player. Really, Bonaventura is one of the only ones who can do more than one thing, which is why most attacks start from him and finish with him. So, you know, Milan definitely needs some more box-to-box players in the squad and some less predictable tactics. But overall, we got the win. 3 points is all that matters, but we could have done a lot better.
Yeah, all around, once again, as you mentioned, it's a very predictable Milan side. And my personal opinion is that most teams, if not all, in the Serie A have pretty much understood how to play against Milan. And that is high pressing, forcing them to make the play, and most of the time they're going to lose possession or send pointless long balls like we've seen from Montolivo day in and day out. But today there are some players that at first we weren't really expecting them to play. I'm speaking like young goalkeeper, 16-year-old Gianluigi Donnarumma, that made an appearance today, actually made his debut for Milan. A decision that we actually found out about last night, and the social media was really all over the place. Some saying that it was a good decision from Mihajlovic, others saying that he's too young and he just can't be put in games like this. But besides that undecisive moment there during that free kick where he hesitated whether to move left or right, and besides the fact that Berardi took a great shot, he really didn't have any poor moments besides that. How did you make, or what did you make of Donnarumma's performance today? And do you see him as a continuation for this Milan side? Do you think Mihajlovic will keep playing him, or do you think Milan will go back to the original roots of Diego Lopez?
Well, I mean, today he didn't make too many mistakes, as you mentioned. The only noticeable one was against Berardi's free kick goal. As you mentioned, hesitated to go one way, ended up going the other, and was too late at that point. But overall, you know, for a 16-year-old, you can't really expect too much, especially in the goalkeeping position, which is one of the most high-pressure positions where you have a lot on your hands because you're the only player in that actual position. So may not have been the best of ideas to play him, but at least for him, you know, he got some minutes, started his Milan career, and hopefully going forward, he could be Milan's keeper in the future. But, you know, I think Diego Lopez will end up being the true number one, you know, especially because Milan have some tough games coming up. Sassuolo, obviously a tough team, but, you know, you see them more as a mid-table side. So I think, you know, that kind of came into account when Mihajlovic was making that decision. But still, I think it would have been better to play Diego Lopez today. But as I said, at least he got the minutes, which is always good for somebody of his age. But yeah, as I mentioned, I think Diego Lopez will be taking his spot back. Even though Donnarumma didn't make too many mistakes, he also wasn't tested too much. And I think if he was, if there was a number of shots on him, he could have made a couple more mistakes here and there. But you can't really blame him for that. As I said, he's only 6 years old. But, to sum it up, I do think Diego Lopez will be taking his spot back in the near future.
Yeah, that's a given. I mean, once again, he didn't face many shots. However, I guess we could say it's a positive debut for Donnarumma. First game, first win. It's always a good start for him, and good for his morale overall, and a good thing to look forward to in the next matches that he will play. Who knows when, but it's definitely something positive to take from that performance today. Some other players I want to touch upon are Cerci. He received much criticism from the start of the season, even last season. A guy that really didn't do much altogether whenever he was given the chance. But today, I guess we saw one of his better games, making good runs down the flanks, at times very selfish, I have to say, where he could have maybe made other decisions, such as crossing the ball or passing it for a better outcome. However, I have to say this was probably one of the better games that Cerci did play altogether. And, of course, we saw that with a beautiful pass to Baca, which led to the penalty shot in the first half, and other great moments. However, I wanted to really get your opinion on the substitutions that were made by Mihajlovic today. And I'm speaking about Luiz Adriano and Bertolacci, two players that when they came in didn't make an immediate impact. However, definitely helped the situation at Milan, where Luiz Adriano got the game-winning goal with 5 minutes away from the full-time whistle, and once again getting another game winner like we saw against Empoli a few weeks ago. And the Bertolacci, where it seemed like he actually did click at times with Bonaventura, even though he made some bad mistakes overall during the minutes that he did play. What were your impressions on these substitutions that were made by Mihajlovic?
I mean, overall, I think they were very positive substitutions. Obviously, did them earlier on in the match rather than in like the 85th minute, only giving them 5 minutes to make an impact. So I think it was good they did them earlier on, giving them about a half hour to actually do something in the match. Bertolacci, as you mentioned, kind of clicked well. I think that was a great substitution, as well as Luiz Adriano, of course, who got the game-winning goal. Mainly for the fact that Sassuolo were a man down, and Milan were putting them on their back foot. So it was good to have a more attacking-minded midfielder who could play make and also be more offensive than somebody like Kuchka or De Jong. Or even Poli for that matter. So I think it was a good substitution to bring in Bertolacci, and it definitely brought more of a positive vibe to the Milan side. And, they also took advantage of getting all 3 points today.
Yeah, definitely. And some final thoughts on today's result. Good result for Milan. Once again, the performance not so much, but it's definitely something that we definitely hope that they could build on and start some consistent winning, because that has been a major problem for Milan all along. And some people might say that Milan didn't deserve the win. I guess we didn't play as we should have got the win, but at the end of the day, it's a 3 points that count, and every Milanista should be happy about that. Not so much about the performance, where, as I said, we could definitely do better, and hopefully we do see some better performances translated in results in the next few games. Before signing off, however, we did have a little moment of fame today. If you guys were watching Giosla de Gol on Rai, our tweet appeared on the show, and you could see Rossoneri TV on the tweet as well. And as you could see, there's the Rai Italia logo on the right. So a little moment of fame for us, which is always good to see. And hopefully we do get some more moments of those in the near future. And on that note, guys, don't forget that you can send in your fan videos to us if you have your comments on the game. If you want to share them on Rossoneri TV, make sure to check in the description below for the link on how to do that. And if your video is good enough, of course, we will post it on the channel so you could give your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything AC Milan. We'll see you guys in the coming days for the match preview and review of AC Milan Chievo. This has been Gio and Adamo signing off from Rossoneri TV. And as always, Forza Milan.